Hi guys, I would like to share with you my perspective on a future growth of Lana value. It's going to be a very interesting recording, um, and maybe if some of you are going to get some new ideas, and please share it with me, with the community. However, it's going to help us, better understanding the things. But before I start, I would like to emphasize the importance of awareness. You see, already Einstein beautifully said, if you want to solve the problem, you can solve it only from a different level of awareness, comparing to the awareness where the problem itself was created. So if we want to make Lana huge, we have to grow into the awareness. We cannot do it on the same way that Bitcoin and all other stuff has done it. It has to be something different. We have to change something, Otherwise, what we are better, nothing, So how I see the growth of the value of the Lana. So first of all, I believe that Lana can grow without any problems to become one Lana, 100 million euros. Okay? I know that this sounds crazy. I know that you say, okay, you don't need to be that greedy or unrealistic and whatever, However, let's go and observe nature. Your body, how your body grows. You see, when an egg and sperm merged into one cell in zygota, then these cells start to split. The adult body has around 37 trillion cells. So from one cell into the adult body that is having 37 trillion cells, it's a huge growth. It's a growth that even a Bitcoin is like nothing comparing to that. So does the nature knows exponential growth and is growing everything, every plant, everything is growing like crazy, especially in the spring, if you live in the nature like I do, you know that, everything grows like crazy, and these cell splittings like crazy, So this huge growth is completely possible, and it's nothing so mysterious around that, So it's very simple. And now I'm going to share with you something that most of you are most probably not even aware. If I ask you how many times a cell need to split so that from one cell becomes like 37 trillion cells, most probably you would come with an idea of like 1 million times, 1,000 times, with the huge numbers. You will not believe, but in a human body, people cells split differently, but they split between 20 and 60 times. So that from one cell becomes so many cells. So I'll calculate it right now. It's so interesting. From the price 0.0007 euros for one Lana up to 100 million euros for one Lana, we need exactly 37 splits. So 37 times price has to grow for 100%. Put it into the simple perspective. So how to achieve that? It's much more easier than anyone would think it. And the whole financial market do it, and it's manipulation. Look, guys, we have to be completely honest with ourselves. Everything, all the financial instrument, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's that Apple, whether it's that whatever, whatever you name it, everything is a Ponzi scheme and exists only because people in that moment believe that has some value. And that's not everything. Whatever financial instrument you will dive into and compare market cap with the liquidity, you will see that all the financial instruments have very poor liquidity. So that literally means, like, you can, even with a Bitcoin, you can hugely move the market with 100 million euros, but the whole market is like 3 trillions or something like that, So it's like imagine how many Lanas you have. I mean, you check the liquidity of Lana. You see that with 100 euros you move Lana, And in the future, everyone that is going to have any amount of Lana that is greater than 1,000 Lana is going to move the market, So that's the reality, So how prices grows. So you just need to manipulate the market. And how the financial market does it is like, yes, this is like, the story, we are building ecosystem, everything what we are right now already doing, just we are not that confident right now because, we want to be, to do it properly, But once in some moment, we are going to do it properly, and we are going to gain that confidence, but I believe this has to happen from the perspective of on awareness, because we know what we are doing, and we hope that we are going to grow. So first of all, we are going to develop an exchange that works differently than current exchanges are working. That is not going to be literally an exchange, but it's going to be more like, I like the name, Nats, I think, used it once, and he said like builders, like we are going to create something what we are going to call like Lana price builder, that's literally going to grow. It is some kind of the exchange, but it's actually going to serve only to grow, to make these splits and to grow 37 times so that we hit this 100 million euros for one Lana, So this is not the issue at all. There is something that is much more important that I want to share with you, and that we have to become aware of it. So the difference when some project become Ponzi, or is stated or is labeled like a Ponzi, or is not labeled like a Ponzi, the only difference is whether in some moment people pull off. That's it. And even with Lana, I have not been part of that story before, but I see, these spikes that you had, and that's actually, that was manipulation at the beginning, yeah, Lana is going to grow, and then in some moment, not believers or whatever, however you want to call it, but emotionally not stable people decide to step out and collapse, and with every crypto or with many cryptos, with many financial instrument happened that in the past. And this is when things get this label, like this is a Ponzi, you know. And now if you observe how body grows, you see everything in nature follows this very beautiful curve. You can call it limit, you know, when you have like, it's going, but it's never touching the zero, you know, it's going, but it's never touching the zero. And this is the idea that you will see everywhere in the nature. So even if you observe your body, you will see how you grow. So at the beginning, the growth was like huge growth. And then when you have been like 15 years old, you know, then growth slowly stop. And cells are splitting throughout your whole life. But in the maturity of from after like 20 years, they're not splitting anymore that rapidly. So things are literally slowing down. So they are splitting, they are never stopping to split, like, you know, limit never touches zero, you know, but is infinite going into that direction. But it's slowing down, the growth slows down very, very. And on the same way, it has to be also with Lana price and with Lana story. So once we are going to build that, price is going to hugely start to grow. And yes, you are going to become hugely wealthy, all of us. But the reality is that forget it to completely step out of the Lana is simply not possible. This would mean like, you know, now when your body becomes mature, one cell decides that it wants to split from your body and live its own life. No, it's going to die. It can just coexist within your body. So your wealth, you are wealthy just because you are part of Lana, not because you step out of the Lana. Look, very simple. Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, you name it, Elon Musk, you know, they are all very wealthy, but they are wealthy because they are still into their game. They cannot step out of that game. In the moment when they step out, it's over with that game. The same goes also with Lana. The foundation, the fundamentals of Lana is the community. So are the people. When people start to go away, it's over with Lana. So, and there's just enough that just one person goes out when Lana is huge, and it's going to collapse. It's not possible not to collapse. So now how to resolve that? So how to be wealthy, have a lot of money, but prevent that people are going to step out. There is a way. And I had 5 years ago done a very interesting project called Vibes, where we have developed so-called balance wallets, where I have literally miming how your lungs are working, you know, inhaling and exhaling, and constantly balancing the air within my lungs and with all lungs all together, you know. And it's so simple concept and works awesome, you know. And this is something that has to be in the future introduced into the Lana world. Because in the moment when this price is going to be huge and we are going to be hugely wealthy, we have to literally have balanced wallets where nobody is going to completely, it's going to prevent that any wallet is going to be cut out, you know, or that anyone is going to say, okay, now I'm going to step out of the Lana game and sell all my Lanas, you know. you cannot do it on that way, you know. With the balance wallets, it's not, you simply cannot do that. You can reduce, you know, the capacity of your lungs, but you cannot just step out, you know. And that is actually preventing that Lana, that anyone, you know, could crash the market if the Lanas are part of that balance wallets. So this is my idea. I know how balance wallets works. I know, you know, how we come to that. What I don't know is how I'm going to connect that. Because if I would set up right now a new crypto, then that would not be a problem, because I would at the beginning do it on that way. With Lana, it's a little bit different, so we have to figure it out. But I believe, you know, that there is a way, you know, how to do that. But this is a completely different approach that anything in the financial. I mean, this is literally copying the nature. I don't want to say that this isn't something new, because it's not. It's literally copying how the nature works, you know. And there's nothing new about it, you know. Just copy that, you know. Don't figure it out something what nature didn't figure it out, you know. Just copy that. And this is the direction that I want to go with the development of all these services. Some of the projects are already published, and I'm going to share more in the future. But yeah, anyway, if you have any questions, or if you have some ideas, if you want to add up, or if you think that I completely missed something, you know, just feel free to share, to comment on that, because it is all about awareness. So we have to grow the awareness around that area. That's the only way that things can grow. And once I can talk for myself, in the moment when I'm going to feel within myself that I know how we are going to balance when, you know, when the peak, you know, when we are going to bust, you know, the growth, then from my perspective, this confidence, I'm going to radiate this confidence around. And I believe that we are all going to become confident, and it's going to just put, you know, Lana hugely up, you know. And nobody, you know, all this manipulation that are happening right now on the markets, you know, they will not influence that at all. It's just going to suck them there, because they are going to have their bigger interest than selling for this low. And even if someone is going today, we can override the price without any problem. Just 5 minutes of the work. Anyway, so it is not anymore the question, can we grow or not? Yes, we can grow easily, yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a really fun time doing that. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy. Bye-bye.